the MultiGP European Championship 2025 with MultiGP, Aircrasher, Bavarian, Multirotor, and thanks to all of our sponsors as well, as we have had so far 2 days of action throughout our qualification brackets, and we just had a fun over 40s competition won by Andre Krasny, so crash a lot, no less. But now it's time to get into the sharp end of things, as it is time for our eliminations to get underway. Good evening, everybody. I'm Matt Andrews here with MultiGP. Such a great honor to finally be working with these guys as we bring you some racing action from Europe, the first ever of the European Championships. 86 pilots have been battling here in beautiful, outside of Stuttgart, near a village called Aichtal. It's not the USA, it's Germany. And we've been having a lot of fun with these pilots who've come from a lot of different places. European Championship, but we have some guys here from Japan and South Korea, you might guess who. We have some guys here from the US of A as well. And a lot of pilots battling to try and win the first ever one of these. As well they should. What a giant honor it's been around this incredible track that you can see right now. But it is darker and the sun is setting and the LEDs are getting ready to light up our track. And our pilots are ready to do the same thing. We are going to be doing our F main. So we have these 86 pilots. They've been qualifying. They had 13 rounds of qualification and a couple of practices along the way throughout yesterday and today. Now we are looking at the pilots who are ranked from 65th downwards. We're calling that our F main competition. These pilots are going to be battling through a double elimination to find out who's the best of these pilots. And once we get to the end of this double elimination with the 4 pilots who make the F final, those 4 pilots as well, they're going to be bumped up into the E bracket, which will be the first of our action when we join you here from Germany tomorrow. The racing, as you can see, is underway in the first of our heats. Good luck to everybody in this round of our pilots to start things off. We've got Christian Vilvark, known as Storm. Jano Silmar from Estonia. That's Rage Quit. I got a woo again. Oh, I love that guy. Johan Albach, Mark Bergenthal, Julian Huffman, and Mirko Spindler. Some of these guys we saw in the over 40s competition just now. It's 3 laps on this incredibly tricky track. Let's take a look at Prop Lame in the bottom, who is the first one to cross the line. He's out on lap number 2. Going through the set of gates before we head to what's been called the power loop of doom by our pilots. You've got to drop down through the tower. You're going to go through there 3 times. The top section is the 2nd time. Come down through the tattoo cube, not literally through the tattoo cube. We've put a few holes in that already. That was nearly a very big one. Instead, Prop Lame will sit in the cube for a little bit longer, unfortunately. Mirko Spindler is the pilot who's up into 2nd. He's got 1 lap flown in a 36.49. He's coming to the tunnel, which is leading him to the start of lap number 3. His 2nd lap, 3.42 seconds quicker than his first. He's coming through Gemfan, weaving his way into the little slalom we had before, into the upwards power loop of doom, as it's called. Johan Albach, racing nicely, up into 2nd now. Then it's Mark Bergenthal. And Julian Huffman, after flying so well, is technically still in 4th, but should not be there by the end of things, as both Christian Vilvark and Jano Silmar are going to pass him. So Mirko Spindler's got 2 flown, and he's coming around for his final time to cross the line. Still ahead in 1st place, Virus Zulod. He's going to be the first winner here in the main event. And now times are correcting me. It's going to be that kind of an event, isn't it? Johan Albach will get the win. Then Mark Bergenthal. And now I'm seeing Mirko Spindler's going to have to settle for 3rd. Jano charging around on his 3rd lap. Just a little bit ahead of Christian Vilvark. Christian Vilvark was just heading into the cube, and you can see all the holes that are in there now. But Rage Quit will come in 4th in his heats. Christian's going to get 5th if he completes his 3rd lap in just the next few seconds, but I think he's a little bit too far away to get that done. His time is going to escape him. You've got to go through Meps King, turn right, then do a reverse split S here. Come through the top of that, as he does now, through the center of the tower, the middle layer of that, a ladder downwards to the left here, then the right-hand turn into the tunnel, and after that, you're going to head for the line, which Christian Vilvark will follow up his 59.8 and a 52.0 with a 66.1, and 5th place will be his. It's Julian Hoffman in 6th. That's your first look at our track. Got a little bit of speed behind it. Johan Albach beating out Mark Bergenthal, Mirko Spindler. 0.08 of a second between Mirko and Mark. So we've had a little few collection of gremlins here. We've had some technical issues. We appear to be getting very nice weather right now, whereas that was a little bit questionable before as well. But so far, our pilots are all extremely happy, and some of them extremely laid back as well. Unfortunately, I did not get to bring you the first ever MultiGP European football match, or the MultiGP European Ultimate Frisbee competition, or some volleyball that was happening earlier on, where it was all starting to threaten to get a little bit old school Top Gun. But no, we're going to keep drone racing, because apparently that's what we're going to do here. Talking of old school Top Gun, that was perfectly timed, wasn't it? So welcome everybody, wherever you're joining us from. Remember, we're going to be live to you from here, just outside Stuttgart, throughout tomorrow on MultiGP's channel as we go through all the eliminations to crown the first ever MultiGP European champion. What an honor that's going to be. In the second heat of our F-main, we're going to have Aichtal Kozak from Israel, Florian Gottschalk, Yannis Kuster, Robin Müller, and Andreas Schwarz. Those are the 5 pilots lining up, all from Germany except for Aichtal Kozak, or Kozainat, Kozwynot, another way. Kozwynot from Israel. Then we got DK, Real Kushrage FPV, Abin Jr., and Rumpelstiltskin. Quickest of these pilots out of qualification, Kozwynot from Israel.
To the start of the race.
22 pilots in total. We've got some heats of 6 and some heats of 5. 4 heats to go in our first round before we start to get a little bit eliminatory. So here we go. Looking down in our pilot area, plenty of room. Time to go. That is Kozwynot, Aichtal Kozak from Israel with the best of the start times, half a second quicker than Florian, who was 0.6 quicker than Yannis, and then a little bit more over the others. And Andreas Schwarz was 4th out of the blocks and the first one to come down, but Rumpelstiltskin might get it back from there. Kozwynot is now into the latter sections as we start to be able to distinguish the colored areas of our track a little more. The ladder down into the tunnel. That's all good for Aichtal Kozak, and he's got a big load of time between him and anybody else. His first lap is flown. Where is the first for anybody else? It looks like Florian Gottschalk is the next one across the line, and he's 7.767 seconds behind Aichtal Kozak. Try saying that many times quickly. I will. Real Kushrage, FPV, Yannis Kuster, he's across the line with a lot of catching up to do. Between them, Robin Müller, just getting to see a little bit of competition just in his crosshairs from time to time, just with a little bit of a chase starting to arise from him. Kozwynot is out on his 3rd lap, and so is Florian Gottschalk, and there's not so much between them as there was. Kozwynot to the tower. Florian not there yet. He's into the power loop of doom now, and while he's going skywards, Kozwynot is coming down. Now he's got the reverse split S. Nicely done through the center of the tower. This is good, clean flying from Aichtal Kozak. He's low to the ground through the tunnel, but with no issues, is over the line in a 30.1 to follow up his 39 and a 32.3. Good times from Kozwynot, but not the quickest lap. That, in fact, is the 2nd lap of Florian, who's coming 5.4 seconds behind him. So not a lot between those. Who's going to take 3rd? Will it be Real Kushrage hanging on to that? Not if he goes down after brushing into so many obstacles. That's at least 3 of them. Scraped along the inside of the tower. Looked like he was going to recover it from there. Robin Müller, Admin Jr. has gone past him now as Real Kushrage is down on the floor. Robin Mueller will go for the line and get third and show us what it looks like from on high. Nicely done. Is Janis Kuster going to come back from there? It doesn't matter, as he's going to be fourth no matter what. So that race is called.
Up next, race number 3.
All right, so we'll take a look at our pilots for our next round here. It's another group of 6. We're going to have Simon Heimrath from Germany, Pavel Kalinski from Czechia, and then an all-German stack following him with Stephen Pitzel, Klaus Bergender, Thomas Huffman, and Mario George Shaber. Give us a wave, Mario. He's focused. Focused. So there's going to be 14 heats in this double elimination before we find out who is going to be the best of this, what we call F main. Before then, 4 of these pilots will get to fly again tomorrow, as they'll be bumped up to the E main group, which is how we're going to start the action tomorrow. Everybody else, they won't be racing on day 3 here at the MultiGP European Championship, but so much racing and so much fun has been had, and people getting to meet each other from around the world, and such a great experience for all the pilots involved. And nobody, of course, wants to leave this competition just yet. So 10 seconds. And away we go. A little bit bobbing up and down for Stephen Pitts, but now he's found his line, and now he's got underway, unlike Pavel Kalinski, who's down a little bit early, but recovering now. Klaus Bergender was in the lead, but he's being beaten to the obstacles now. I think it's Simon Heimrath, one of the producers of the stream here, who gets his chance. He's getting some nice work as he's in the cube with Stephen Pitzel at the same time, and Daring Fly is down and inside one of the obstacles, and Stephen Pitzel is really untidy trying to find the drop into the Tartu cube. He's nowhere near Simon anymore, and he's got some closer company. Thomas Huffman and Klaus Bergender, they are pretty tight as well, but Simon Chuck Boris is the first one to the line, just shy of 36 seconds. Now Zalaus is making the final turn, and he's on to lap number 2. He is some way behind, as Thomas Huffman is squeezed between them, and he is quite a long way behind our leader. So it's our leader, Simon Heimrath, then Thomas Huffman, Klaus Bergender in third, and Stefan Pitzel just outside that top 3, and it's the 3 who are going to progress to the next side of the bracket in the cleaner way. But Klaus has got a bit of a pursuit happening. As you can see, a drone is 1 or 2 gates ahead of him. It's going to be Mario George Shaber that he's trying to catch. But Mario, maybe Klaus doesn't realize, is not the drone he needs to be, as Mario is down and also a long way behind him. He was nearly being lapped. Simon Heimrath coming through Gem Fan, pushing his way now to the power loop for the 3rd lap. Klaus Bergender is into the power loop now, so there's a good few seconds between them, and it's going to be more as Klaus stopped completely to then go for the route down, and it was a good angle through the dive gate, but it was a long time before he went for it. Chuck Boris is through the center of the tower. He'll go for the tunnel now, and this will take Simon Heimrath cleanly back into the commentary tent for production, but knowing he's going to be in the next round of racing as well. Nice job, producer Simon. Klaus Bergender is second. Is Thomas Huffman going to hang on to 3rd? Well, it doesn't look like anybody else can do anything about it, as he's the only one still flying. Now Thomas weaves his way towards the purple section of our track, the last section of our track, because he's going to go through the tunnel to get there, through that center of the tower. Now the ladder down, final tunnel. And Thomas Huffman into the next round in third place here, 24 seconds behind, but into the top three.
The race is completed.
So we have 5 more pilots to meet.
Up next,
And you're looking for Jupe FPV, Georg Dunblut, Lucas Pench, Orevron, Benjamin Federline, and Stefan Huss. 4 Germans. And in the mix of this, Israeli pilot who put in a decent showing, just as we were watching in the earlier rounds. Quickest of these, Jupe FPV was 65th in qualification. The pilot who just missed out on being in the E-main, which is what 64th would have got him. But make it to the final of this, and you can get to go and play with them as well. Other than that, Luki was 72nd. Abdul Fattah, that's Orevron, was 73rd. And then we've got 80th with Chip at FPV, and RC Steve was 81st in that qualification battle. The big, long one over the 13 rounds we had. The 3 of these pilots
1 minute to the start.
safely through to the next round. Right, pilots ready. Double elimination. Look at it as they've all got 2 lives. If you come in below 3rd in one of these races, you're going to lose one of them. Lose both, and you're out. And in this is it now. These are the eliminations. So if you're out of these, there's no coming back for the next round. There's not another round to fly. You will be wrapped up. So Georg Dunblut, like I said, quickest when the qualification finished. And he is out of the blocks 9,000ths of a second behind Abdul Fattah, but unfortunately the good start for Abdul Fattah, or Orevron, has been nothing more than a good start. So Georg Dunblut heading towards the end of his first lap, and nobody else really challenging for that right now. But Orevron is back up. He's got a lot to do, but always love to see a pilot getting to race on. 31.4 is the first lap for Jupe FPV. Going to be Benjamin Federline, I think, who's going to get the second one. No, he's going to get the third one, as Luki is already across it. And there's not going to be anything more from Benjamin Federline, as I was just thinking that looked like it was going to be a decent time to the line, but I was a bit worried about what might happen to him afterwards. Stefan Huss, RC Steve, comes down through the tower with a bit of catching up to do. Luki is just offline and just extremely low as he's going to start lap number 3 now with a big gap between him. It's 17.87 seconds. That's a long way between him and Jupe FPV, who is out in front and getting a little bit close to some drones that he's in, possibly going to lap, but he'll go through and finish his third lap without quite doing so he can get out of the way now, and we'll see who's going to progress. That's a really, really dominant performance from Georg Dunblut. Lucas Pench, not being troubled too much. Second, surely his. Who's going to get third in that other spot that doesn't lose a life on their way to the next round? Lucas has got the second place, 22.9 seconds way behind. What about Stefan Huss? Is he going to keep third? Well, Orevron, after struggling at the beginning and going down so soon after a quick start, any chance he had of catching Stefan Huss required a bit more of a reversal of this situation, as Stefan Huss is going to the line and Orevron is the one who's caught tangled, and going to be dropping down to the elimination side of things after coming in fourth in our fourth heat. Big gaps between first and second and third.
The race is completed.
Thumbs up, though, with a few pilots looking pretty pleased, having enjoyed racing against some competitors, fairly evenly matched, that group. Despite the quali positions being quite a long way apart, we had some tight moments then, and then it all kind of stretched a long way out. So we start to eliminate people from the MultiGP European Championship 2025, as we are going to start taking a look at pilots who have come lower down in one of our earlier races. Fourth or lower than that loses you one of those lives I mentioned, and you have two. These pilots in this heat, they've all lost one of them. So 5 pilots. 3 of them can stay in. 2 of them are going to be the first 2 to be eliminated here. Nobody wants to be them. Jano Simar from Estonia, just on the left there, ready to fly. So pressure really on these pilots now. Remember, as I said, we've got all of the rest of the eliminations happening tomorrow. We're only doing the F main today, finding 4 pilots, a winner out of those, but all 4 of them who are in the final, they'll go to the E main, and that's the action that we're going to be bringing you tomorrow, along with the Ds and Cs and Bs, all the way to the top pilots, and we have some incredible names in this competition. The 2-time reigning, pick a competition. Who should we talk about? We have the 2-time Turkish national champion. We have the German champion. We have pilot you might know, called Min Jae Kim. He recently won a race out in China. Yuki Hashimoto, if you're not familiar, he's the reigning FAI World Drone Racing Champion and the winner of the World Games a couple of weeks ago. He's here. Killian's here. Keep the names coming. I tell you, we have this brilliant tournament. J-Box, by the way, in case you're wondering, of the American pilots. Yes, J-Box is right up in the thick of things as well. Brilliant performance in qualifying from him. We also have Wesley FPV here from the States too. So a couple of American pilots and a big international mix. This race underway with Julian Huffman, who had a really solid first lap we saw earlier, and then it all came undone for him quite quickly. Julian Huffman out in front at the moment and boldly attacking this. Then it's Christian Vilwok and Jano Simar who is still flying, and Jano's gone up into second. Rage quit up into second place. As Rumpelstiltskin and Real Kush Rage FPV might find themselves looking at the track from these positions and being potentially eliminated if it's Andreas Schwarz, as he's in third at the moment, but he's going to potentially lose that position. He should have lost it now to Christian Vilvok. I wasn't sure if anything was going to come back to Andreas, as Julian Huffman has kept his all flying very well. Yannis Kuster is trying to crash flip his way out of the netting. We're not seeing any movement from Andreas Schwarz at all, so that is looking like that is done for him. Jano Simar going into the ladder before the turn to the tunnel for his second lap to be completed. And yeah, Christian Vilvok is now down, so it's a 1 and 2. Julian Huffman and then Jano Simar are the only 2 still attacking this. Julian's got his third lap flown in a 32.5 for the middle one being the best we've seen out of this group of pilots. Jano Simar will bring it down through the tunnel, and second is definitely his now. Through the Tato Cube to come back down to the ground, then a right-hand turn followed by a quick left. Go through this gate and a right-hand turn, then a reverse split S from here. Push it to the tower, go through the center, left hand into the ladder. This Tatsu ladder. And then out through the tunnel and the final turn across the line. And that's a much quicker time for Jano. 5 seconds quicker than his first lap of 4.5 if you want to be picky. and you like decimal places, which is fair enough. We like drone racing. We've got plenty of those. Julian Huffman and Jano Slima, together with Christian Vilvok, will make it to the next round. But Christian Vilvok's going to need to stay in the air for more of the next one, as they're in the elimination battles from this point onwards, with only one life in any of them. So we'll take a trip over to the side of the bracket for the pilots. They came first, second, or third in their first runs. Yeah, just a little bit of a recovery needing to be done. This is the first time we've had the ladder out, which means we get to enjoy the solo round of the ladder competition. Yeah, it's a good strong start by our ladder group here, as they now just getting everything into position and starting the climb in the ladder climbing competition. Good move there from their teammate as he goes to stand on the ladder. Oh, look at that, excellent formation. I love that. That's the classic three-man formation of ladder climbing. Not quite the gymnastics we saw in Istanbul last weekend when I introduced the sport of ladder gymnastics to the world. What a good display, what an efficient display that was by the group. Particularly enjoyed, I think the judges will be giving extra marks for the disdain with which that drone was just chucked on the floor. Not particularly ceremonious. Oh, now look, oh, unfortunately, look, the ladder's going one way, the rest of the team are going the other, and they're not quite in step or anything. I feel like the marks they may have gained for the drone removal being lost right now. Well, this is an extremely accurate bit of everybody standing extremely still in sync with each other, wasn't it? They were very, very, very tidy. Nobody was moving at all. Okay, let's light them up. And who is coming to play in heat number 6? Johan Albach, Mark Bergenthal, Mirko Spindler, Aichtal Kozak, Florian Gottschalk, and Robin Müller. But you can't see them. Where are they? Quads lit up. Pilots not on seats. Pilots, get on your chairs. Let's go, 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 go. Robin Müller just safely out of the blocks, but this isn't qualification. You can't let everyone else go ahead of you. You've got to go and grab this thing, and Cozy Weinert, who won the last heat, is chasing. Florian Gottschalk is in a bit of a mid-air battle. Nobody's come together just yet, but they're really tight. Florian now chasing Aichtal Kozak. And Aichtal maybe just a little bit further ahead than he was. Comfortably getting away now. Aichtal to the tunnel. He gets the first lap flown like he did in the last group. Mark Bergenthal is into the tunnel as well, but the second pilot across the line it is Mirko Spindler, then it is Mark Bergenthal. Now we've got VTX Slayer in the racing too. Still Israel's Cozy Wynut, who is leading and not being caught by anybody at the moment, as he's already near the end of his second lap. There's the ladder down and into the tunnel. And while he's doing that, the nearest pilot to him is at the opposite side of the course. He's going to be doing the long run towards the other side. Cozy Wynut, second lap, 28.22. What about Mirko Spindler's? It's 34 dead with some work to do, but he's in the top three, which is where he needs to be, as is Mark Bergenthal. And he's just a fraction ahead of Johan Albart by less than a quarter of a second when they started lap number 3. So the VTX Slayer in the top right, trying to catch Bender in the bottom left. And he's right with him now. And he's trying to make the better turn in the dive gate. And Johan was just slightly quicker. But they are really, really tight. Mark Bergenthal, Bender, we'll see the drone lighting up the sky in front of him. And it's going through the ladder in front of him. And Johan is into the tunnel in front of him. And Johan is into the next round in front of him. 0.05 of a second is all that separated Johan Albach and Mark Bergenthal, as VTX Slayer was chasing him for the whole race until the latter parts of the last lap when he got him, passed him, and the guys, wow, what a brilliant battle between them. But Mark eventually watching his third place cross the line in the hands of someone else. Right, so more pilots to progress to the next rounds, but we're going to keep jumping back and forth here. From pilots who've still got both of their lives to pilots who are hanging on into the competition. Here are your pilots for the 7th race in the 14 that we've got in this bracket. Pilots from 20 different nationalities, all in the MultiGP European Championship. You see 3 more from Germany, along with Pavel Kalinski from Setsia and Orevron from Israel. Okay, do or die time. Got to be first, second, or third here. Pavel with the best of the starts, followed up by an extremely quick rolling section, which is unnecessary for him. But with the quad right in front, he's got the charge. And Orevron is behind Pavel. And Pavel, I think, has overtaken Benjamin Fiedelein in the air between the climb and then the cube down again. Yes, Benjamin is watching Pavel just ahead. Who's a little bit clearer than everybody? It's Stefan Fitzel, who's out in front, but extremely high, losing a whole load of time before he even gets to the ladder on lap number 2. Would Pavel have caught him there? Well, it was a lot of time wasted for Stefan Fitzel, but with Pavel down now, There's only 4 pilots still flying for the 3 places. Stefan Pitzel out in front. Now we got 3 of them as Mario Gorjasheba is having trouble. We might be about to lose him. Got to be in this. Cliche as it is, you do have to be in it to win it or to stay in it. Now, everyone is, after getting to the line for the 3rd lap, the quickest. He's again just leaking a bit of time here and there with some of his routes, but he's still now comfortably out in front as Stefan Pitzel has lost a fair bit of time, and Benjamin Fiederlein is not close enough to challenge those 2 pilots for 1 or 2. Everyone has gone from a solid start into a messy route into the next round as the leader of this one, with some beautiful aerial work as well. Israel's Evron goes another stage in the MultiGP European Championship F main. Stefan Pitzel with him. And down the tunnel will go Benjamin Fiederlein to race again in a couple of heats' time. But sadly, Pavel Kalinski from Szczecin and Mario Gorjasheba, they are Pavel FPV and Daring Fly, and they are eliminated here at the European Champs.
Up next, race number 8.
So an all-German group here for the next stage of the 2nd round. Simon Heimrath, Klaus Bergender, Thomas Hufmann, Jörg Dunblut, Lucas Pench, and Stefan Huss. And it's pretty dark now, which is why our track is glowing so nicely. From the middle of it, some of the pilots from the last heat sadly leaving the track for the last time. So here they are. Nobody being eliminated from it. 2 lives for all of this group.
45 seconds to the start of the race.
We've got 10 seconds now. A little bit of a slow tidy up for this group getting ready. And everybody is showing us the sky. We're going to send it there. Klaus, Jörg, and the others crossed the starting line, but it was Klaus who got there the quickest. And he's high to the tower, and a little bit untidy, trying to get anywhere near it. That's lost whatever good reaction time he had from the beginning. He's got a lot of work to do, and he's completely out of line now. Now he's recovered. Now he's, oh no, and now he's gone down at the Tartu dive cube. It was all untidy, like he was a bit lost on where he needed to go. Fortunately for Klaus Bergender, this is not the end of the road, as this is his first life being lost, not his second, but other pilots are far, far ahead now, led by Jörg Dunblut, who is best part of 3 seconds over the line ahead of Lucas and Simon Heimrath as well, but they could catch him, or is this top 3 going to be locked in? FPV through the center of the tower. Now it's Lucas Pench going through it. Now it's Simon Heimrath, so 3rd and 2nd are getting a little bit close. Thomas Hufmann is in a good chase with Stefan Huss, but that is for 4th and 5th. That is not touching the top 3 at the moment as they are all onto their 3rd lap now. Out of the top of the tower. Jorg charging back down to earth now. Chuck Boris coming to the tower. That's Simon Heimrath. Between them, it's still Lukas Pench, who's coming out of the skyward section through the cube. Out in front, still Jorg Dornblut. He's going to lead this group to the next round. Lukas Pench will go down the tunnel. Producer Simon Heimrath chased him to the finish, ended up just over a second behind him. But it's Jorg Dornblut, then Lukas Pench and Simon Heimrath, 1, 2, 3. They continue. RC Steve will get this home. I have no doubt Stefan Hoos is going to bring this in. I also have no doubt that my commentator's curse could leap on him at any moment. There's the turn. There's the 4th place. It was never in doubt, Stefan. Don't worry. Thomas Huffman and Klaus Bergender, they get to fly again, but with 1 life fewer, along with Stefan Huss, as they go to the eliminations side. Talking the elimination side, we're going to have 2 elimination races back to back now as we're getting a lot closer to the final of the F main.
Up next, race number 9.
So Christian Vilvock, who stayed in the competition after some of his opponents were crashing a little bit messily in the last round. He's going to be in here. Julian Huffman and a little bit of a cleaner route to this. Jano Sima, rage quit. Every time I say it, there was a woo. This time, there was at least 2 woos. It's catching on. Mark Bergenthal, Robin Mueller, and Florian Gottschalk. Only room for 3 of you in the next round. For everybody in this side, these 6 pilots and the 6 coming up in the heat after this, they have to come 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in this race to stay in, and another one, and another one. 3 races, including this, will see you in the grand final. And therefore, into tomorrow's E bracket action. So can Big Daddy Rage quit? Keep some Germans at bay and keep himself racing on their turf. This track here, obviously the track is a completely brand new arrangement designed by the brilliant Boner FPV from the Netherlands. I'll try and talk to him tomorrow about how you go about designing a track so good as this. But this area and this field that we're in, this is known to a lot of our German pilots for many German races here. Rage quit. Cannot let this go by not being part of it. Come on, Jano. Julian Huffman leading this pilot group. All wanting to stay in the competition. Try and get yourselves to the E-mains. Try and fly again tomorrow. First thing you got to do, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, right here, right now. Julian down the tunnel will be the first one to start lap number 2. Then it's going to be Mark Bergenthal. Florian was ahead of both of them. How did he sneak past? Did you see it go? He's there. Did Julian realize? Probably does now. Robin Mueller just getting his first lap flown. Sadly, it does seem like Estonia's Jano Simar is going to be not taking part in this round to try and stay in. Florian's just done a really good 28.53 second lap. Julian still trying to catch it. Mark still trying to catch both of them. Robin Mueller down in 4th at the moment, the only one still flying. Florian is getting this one flown. Oh no, and he's down and he's bounced it and he's recovered it. And it looks like, well, I don't know, a second crash like that, he might be about to let this slip, but Robin Mueller is a long way behind. Florian would only let it slip If he was down and crashed, and as I say it, the curse strikes. We've got Julian Huffman home in first place. Florian Gottschalk, who was leading, is not there yet. Mark Bergenthal has overtaken him and got second. This is your do-or-die race. If Robin Mueller can get this around in the time he's got left, and further than Florian did, Robin Mueller is going to go to the next round and be 2 races from the finals. And Florian Gottschalk, who was so quick here on this track for the 2 laps he's flown, he's not going to be the one to get the third. It is Robin Mueller to the next round. How awful. Florian Gottschalk, commiserations to DK, who's crashed at the end of that through the tower, sends him out of the European Championship. Ah, tragic. It's got to happen to some pilots. Florian will be eliminated along with Christian Vilvock, who had a tough previous round as well. And Jano Simar, what a shame, not able to fly in his last chance to stay in the competition. But now, of course, his young son will get all the attention that he deserves, as Morten Simar is in the much higher categories in tomorrow's racing. Wow, thrilling racing. We're going to take a look at heat number 10 as we make our way to the 14th one, which is the final for the F main. Or everyone's got a couple of wins so far in getting it to this stage. And not from easy positions either. Always need a little bit of luck in drone racing, as you know, masses and masses of skill doesn't go amiss either. Stefan Pitzel, Benjamin Fiedelein, Stefan Hus, Thomas Huffman, Klaus Bagenda. The pilots we saw race just 2 heats to go when they then reduced themselves to being into this section. Got to go again. This event does not stop. It is quite demanding on our pilots, particularly when we get into these eliminations. And it's a case of, right, you've just flown, you're going to have to fly again imminently. The 3 pilots who top this group will be flying in 2 heats time, and then again, and then, if they're still in it, the final.
15 seconds to the start of the race.
Just getting some squats in before the race. Oh, and another one, there we go.
Less than 5.
Just getting a little bit of leg day work. Now we've got a drone on the blocks, whereas it was a radio. I think it's better if the drone is there, personally. Okay, elimination time. 3 of these pilots. It's getting cold here. Completely dark now. In the sky, obviously, not in the planet in general. Safe launch for most of these pilots, just a little bit slower, more vertical than forwards for a few of them, and everyone having a little bit of an issue immediately again. But we've seen him have that problem and then turn it into, I'm still racing. And he has got drones lighting up Stuttgart to battle and chase. That seems to work. He's just passed Stefan Hus. And he's left Stefan Hus a little bit further behind now as RC Steve in the top left of your screen needs to find some more speed and some more aggression and confidence here, or he's getting left behind from the top 3. And there's a place to be gained as one of our pilots, Klaus Bagenda, is down. It's Thomas Huffman who's first to the line. Stefan Pitzel, then Evron. Those are the 3. Benjamin Fiedelein is not far out of keeping his competition fun and positions alive. He's got to find the tower and get back into this, though. He might get a glimpse every now and then of pilots who are just in front of him, as they're not a long way. And it's not too tidy for a few of these pilots. It could go a little bit wrong. Thomas Huffman is coming down the tunnel, and he's alongside Stefan Pitzel, but Stefan Pitzel is a whole lap ahead of him as they shared the tunnel then. Now, Stefan Pitzel leading our group. Or Evron in second is with him, following him, trying to catch him, but seeing other drones zipping nearby too. Benjamin Federline just occasionally getting across his vision in some of the earlier turns, but he's in fact a good few seconds behind Or Evron. Those are your three at the moment. It's now Stefan Hoos who's in that fourth place and trying to catch them and trying to change this around. He goes to the sky with a lot of catching up to do, but it could fall apart. Or Evron coming near Stefan Pitzel, passing him. It's going to be Or Evron winning it over Stefan Pitzel with 1.1 seconds between them after the last couple of moves were brilliant for the Israeli pilot. Stefan Pitzel second, then it's Benjamin Federline. Unfortunately, it's limping to an end for Thomas Huffman, but Stefan Hoos, RC Steve, can hold his head high, getting the 3 laps flown, and he was 8.889 seconds behind, staying in the competition a little bit longer. Instead, 4th place here means he's going to be eliminated, along with Thomas Huffman and Klaus Bergender. 3 Germans being eliminated here. Or Evron with Stefan Pitzel and Benjamin Federline 1 step closer to still making it to the F main final and the E bracket tomorrow. Now we're going to take a look at heat number 11. These pilots are one race, this race, from the F final and bumping up to the E main. First, second, and third here are guaranteed. Both of those things. The other 3 pilots will be battling for them with some of the pilots we've just seen. Israel's Aichtal Kozak. Cozy Weinert. Mirko Spindler. Virus Zulod. Johannes Albach. VTX Slayer. Keep him away from the tent. Jörg Dornblut. That's Jupe FPV. Lucas Pench. Lukey. And producer Simon Heimrath. Jacques Boris, they all leave Henry from MultiGP behind. Just abandoned him while he was looking at his phone. 45 seconds to the start of the race, says anonymous voiceover lady in the background. She now tells them it's 30 seconds to the start of the race. Is he going to get off track in time? Can't quite see him now. Spot in the grand final for F and the racing for E. If you're 1, 2, or 3. Cozy Weinert, no, wiped out in the tower. You've got a second chance. The other pilots in this race who come in 4th, 5th, and 6th. As you will get another battle for that grand final spot. Jacques Boris chasing a beautifully lit cyan drone around this track, coming through the dive cube now. Lucas Pench has got a blue one to chase too. So has Johan Albach. How are they all blue? First to the line, it is Jupe. Showing some of the form that we know he can do, as we saw him winning some heats earlier. Jupe now, charging towards that final and the E's. Lucas Pench, 2.7 seconds behind him. Not far behind that is Johan Albach, though. Second, third. Well, in fact, third place can see 2 drones ahead. One of them is Lucas Pench. Chuck Boris, Simon Heimrath has come in to mix this up. We've got 1 pilot on lap number 2. Simon Heimrath has gone from 4th up into 2nd. Lucas hanging on to 3rd. Johan Albach has swapped places with Simon. The descent down, that really tricky part where you've got to come through the top of the tower, and then again a little bit later as you come through the top of the cube. That can mix things up and really figure this out for some people. Simon Heimrath has got a drone right in front of him. It's not Lucas Pent. He's down on the ground. Simon chasing, trying to stay onto that second. I think he's going to keep it. He's a little bit ahead of third. He's behind first. That's Jörg Dornbluth, Simon Heimrath, and Johan Zalbach. Congratulations to these three pilots. They are the first to make it to the F main finals. They're going to get the bump up and race some more tomorrow amongst all the pilots who are in E as well. But for the other pilots, Lucas, Ayal, and Mirko, it's not over yet. Our top three from this race, they can just get everything ready. That was heat number 11. Heat number 14 is the final. There's two to come. The other pilots looking to join them there. A little bit of a banner being fixed on one of our gates. These six pilots, two races from the final. The top three of these are going to face Luki, Virus Deload, and Cozy Wynut, who just missed out on the direct route. And then the final awaits. So these guys, these six, the top three of this are going to fly again. The top three of that race are going to fly again. 3 races back to back for that last race being the final and some more airtime with the E group tomorrow.
30 seconds to the start of the race.
And it's fair to say we've had some pilots crashing out, some pilots recovering, some spins, some extra turns. It's all got a little bit of untidy for some of these pilots. So this really could go any way here. Come and get it. As I always urge you pilots to do, come and get it. Top three, go again. Top three of that, get a lot more to do tomorrow. Julian Huffman. Right in the thick of things now. Going to be the first one to the tunnel. Going to be the first one onto lap number 2. And he's got there in a 30.7. Half second behind him, or Evron. 2.3 behind them, Stefan Pitzel. There's a bit of clear room between the 3 pilots and then Benjamin Federline and Robin Mueller. Those times just coming in a little bit strangely. Robin's coming in after Benjamin's, but quicker than Benjamin's. And Robin, as you see, is watching drones go over the top of him. As Robin is going to watch this race get away from him, and sadly, his time in the MultiGP European Championship with it. Julian Huffman is on to lap number 3. Or Evron is only 8/10 behind him. Stefan Pitzel, who was in that 3rd place, isn't able to continue. And Robin Mueller, who was in 4th and maybe could have been the one to get that 3rd spot. Wait, Stefan Pitzel might still be registering and flying. We're just not seeing the video here. Benjamin Fiedelein has gone up into 4th place. He might get that 3rd. Or Evron has brilliantly won it at the last moments. Julian Huffman is 2nd. They're still going to be with us racing. Who is going to take 3rd? Well, Mark Bagenthal was pushing strongly, but has got really tangled up in a whole load of the obstacles. And Stefan Pitzel, who we can't see, has got a 3rd lap time, and I think is going to take 3rd and stay in the competition, to some people's surprise, as we didn't see very much of how, but he wasn't quite down. I said I thought he was still registering. He is indeed, and he's 20.5 seconds behind, which is demonstrative that he really did have some problems on that 3rd lap. And Benjamin Fiedelein was 3.3 away from taking it from him. Said Stefan Pitzel somehow got flying, somehow stays here alive in this. We're going to say goodbye to Benjamin Fiedelein, Mark Bagenthal, and Robin Mueller. It's up 3. Get ready. There's no respite for them. They're going again right now. Although perhaps a wander out onto the track might slow things down a little until the bossy voiceover lady tells them what to do. That is another race won by Or Evron, who had a really good start and is definitely capable of winning a straight race, but finding himself in some issues, being a little bit further behind, and nevertheless getting it done when it counts at the end. Awaiting them are the 3 pilots who are already into this group, who are Lucky, Varsalod, and Cozy Weiner, which means we're going to have the 2 Israeli pilots in this group for heat number 13. So race control, I think, just verifying some things, perhaps, just giving us a little bit of delay before we go for the next run. So tomorrow, he says, taking a bit of a deep breath, we're going to be live here from Stuttgart. Somebody said at 7:30 a.m. to be racing at 8 o'clock in the morning. And in my 9 years of drone racing, those aren't times that I've ever heard said to me in relation to when an event starts. I know the Americans quite like to get up early, have 3 breakfasts, go for a run, do loads of things, paint their house, and then think about maybe starting work, because it's kind of that kind of a country where everybody gets up and does stuff really early in the day. I'm a gamer, and I work in drone racing. That is not how I'm wired. So anyway, you'll be able to join us from wherever you are for the MultiGP European Championship. Apparently at 7:30 a.m. in the morning here in Germany, which is far too early UTC time, far too early anywhere else in the world time, late at night in some parts of America. In fact, it's far too early in the morning, East Coast. But that's what we're going to do, so that our pilots can have a massive day of racing. You want to know exactly when I expect your alarm clocks to have rung by and for you to join me. 8 a.m. when we start racing here in Germany. We're on Central European Summertime, is what it's called, to give you a little bit of a global feel. That is UTC +2. What does that mean for the rest of the world? Well, if you're in the UK, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. If you're East Coast America, it's going to be 2 a.m. Central America, 1 a.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. That'll be 11 p.m. today, is when we're going to start tomorrow. Whereas if you are in the United Arab Emirates, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, because they're ahead. Chinese Standard Time, it's going to be 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Japan, 3 p.m. Over Australia, we'll see you at 4. And I know some people will be going, oh my God, like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, stateside, what stupid times. The world is a big place. And when there's really cool American races, like, you know, MultiGP champs in a couple of weeks' time. Oh my gosh, that's soon. That'll be at about 2 o'clock. I remember watching champs at 2 a.m. my time in the UK, I think the last time. So, yeah. Welcome to the world. Okay, well, this is going to be heat number 13. For these 6 pilots, Luki, Cozy Weiner, Virus Zulod, they just missed out on the direct ticket to the final for the F main. This is their chance to get back in there and face the 3 pilots who just beat them. And then we have Or Evron, Julian Huffman, and Stefan Pitzel still alive in this competition. Julian Huffman, prop lane, he's been in the lower bracket, hanging on with 1 life since the first round. That's when he got knocked down into here. Still with us. A lot of respect for that. You can make it to a grand final if you come in low, in a lower position in your first run. You can definitely still make it to a grand final of that group. You could even make it to the A main final, theoretically. You could just keep getting bumped up and bumped up. Let's take this 1 step at a time. Now we just got a little bit more of a delay. It's been flowing so quickly. Everything's been running so tightly. But, yeah, looking like we've got a bit of a problem in getting this race. I said some of the pilots in this have raced in heat number 12 and heat number 13 is this one. And before that, they might have been in heat number 10. So not much time in between races. And at this last stage now, if you're in the lower side of things, we've just done heat 12. 3 of them are here. You're going to do heat 13. And then 3 of these, they're going to fly heat 14, which is the final. Stefan Pitzel, for example, Storm. Here in heat 13, was flying in the previous one, was flying in heat 10, only 2 heats before that. Oh no, this could be unfortunate. Drone off of the block. seemingly not giving him any kind of signal at all. Oh no. Walking away from the blocks with the quad lit up, but not leaving it there to launch. Is that Storm? At this last stage, having been in this competition. Oh, that is no way to get eliminated. They will leave for the last spots in this final of the F main, with Aichtal Kozak doing what he's done a few times. He's out in the lead. He ends up a few times in the lead. It's not always the same between the start and the finish of the race, but that's a lovely curve down through the top of the tower. That's strong work from him. Mirko Spindler, a little bit more aggressive and a lot more shaky, looking a little untidy. Julian Huffman, after I was just saying what a battle he's had to get to this stage, might this be where it ends for him? Aichtal Kozak, after the mistakes and problems he's had and yet still finishing races in first, if he can get this thing out of the tunnel at all, then that is going to get him to the final. But it takes much longer. He's going to have a lot of chasing to do. Evron is the only pilot on the third lap. Again, good start. Quick, smooth flying. Now heading to the F final and a spot in tomorrow's racing, but he's down. Is anybody going to actually grab these spots and get there? He's been passed, but I think he's been lapped. Or rather, a pilot has unlapped themselves. Now Lucas Pench. He's going to the sky on his third lap. He's going to find the entry and exit of the tower nicely, really cleanly. This is him now pushing towards that next stage. Mirko Spindler, not quite so smoothly, but that's better. I know he has to sort of adjust and rock and roll a little bit afterwards to straighten it out. Evron is flying and back in the chase again. This is when he seems to be more comfortable. He's got a drone in front of him and he's trying to catch it. That one is Mirko Spindler's. They're going for second and third. It's theirs to take. It's Lucas Pence into the final. It's Evron into the final with a big hit at the end. Mirko Spindler, we'll see you in the final of F main and into the E main races as well. And Aichtal Kozak, Cozy Wineouts, along with Prop Lane, that's Julian Huffman, and Storm, who couldn't get flying. What a pilots. They do everything but make the F main final. That is going to be their time here. What a shame. Aichtal Kozak just couldn't get that clean run all the way to the finish. Julian Huffman has been scrapping along all the time and was so nearly there. And Stefan Pitzel, Storm, like I said, race again and again and again. When you're in that part of the bracket, sometimes it's a technical problem that you maybe are running out of equipment or you simply don't have enough time between races to do all the repairing that you need to do. It just couldn't launch for him, and that's where it ended. So we have our 6 pilots for the final. So congratulations to all 6 of these pilots. So these pilots are F main finalists. Congratulations to all of you. Jörg Dunblut, UPFPV. Producer Simon Heimrath, Chuck Boris. Johan Albach, the VTX Slayer. Lucas Pench, Luki. Israel's Evron Abdul Fattah, and Mirko Spindler, Virus Zulord. 6 pilots. 4 of these will get to fly again in tomorrow's E-Mains. But who will also be the winner of the F group. As you can see, the urgency to fly there. Getting to the blocks with real determination to attack this course. But I've got to point out here, look at the smiling faces of all of these competitors. They know each other well. They've been racing each other and getting to know each other brilliantly over this weekend, even if they didn't already know each other, which of course a lot of these German pilots in particular do. Looking relaxed. For the pilots who come in 6th and 5th in this race, they are going to be finished here at the MultiGP European Championships. The top 4, they'll be back with us tomorrow morning on the insane idea of starting a stream at 8 o'clock in the morning, German time, when we come racing again here from just outside Stuttgart. Top 4 to tomorrow's E-races. But everybody would love to get the first win. It's all looking pretty relaxed, pretty chilled out down there. It's been an event quite like this in spirit so far. Everyone having a really good time, lots of laughter, lots of smiles, a bit of sunbathing going on for some people. Hopefully I'll get to commentate on some of the football action tomorrow and some of the other sporting activities which are going on here at the MultiGP European Championship. We've got 3 minutes to the start of the race, according to voiceover lady. I don't know if we're waiting to see which of these pilots are going to drop to death of cold first, and we'll see who's like last one standing or something. So yeah, we're getting more and more people being told to flap their arms in order to stay warm. I think that was the encouragement there. Oh no, we'll get pictures. From just grabbing a drone off a starting block. Go, that's mine. I'm going to go and join in a minute. Feels like a party that I wasn't invited to is going on down by the blocks. So I can see a lot of love for the track and for the event here coming through on the YouTube. Thank you to everybody for joining us. I can see our track designer, T-Bone, Burner FPV, already telling people he's commentating with me tomorrow. That's a thing now. I've never met him. I don't know what he's talking about. Who? What? No, I'm looking forward to it, my friend. Looking forward to it. We'll have some good fun. Oh, do you know what else I'm looking forward to? Removing the splinter. Nobody's asked me about that for a while. It's like everyone thinks it's not a big deal. I don't know what's wrong with you all. Also, I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to. Those drones staying there and the pilots not doing so. Here we go. That is 8:47 p.m. here in Germany. Get your watches synchronized and your clocks ready, or just look at your phone because that tends to know. And then join us again in just under 12 hours' time. Basically, almost, whatever. We're going to go racing again in less than 12 hours' time. I'm getting flashbacks of the WDRC last October, where I did a 14.5-hour live stream single-handedly, and then was commentating again less than 8 hours after it finished. We had a near typhoon on the first day, which took out so much time that that's basically how we got the pilots as much flying as possible. But yeah, it's not quite that long a day. And it is a real privilege to be here and commentating for the brilliant MultiGP and all of these amazing pilots. This is it. This is your final. Anybody else see a bright blue light in the sky, or are the aliens finally coming? Let's put that race back down on the floor. Was that a massive full start? Yes. Are we going to have a 5-minute party at the blocks again while we wait to begin? Let's hope not. Whoops. Oh, good. I think we should just make these pilots hold the drones and run around the track making bzzz noises. So we will get that ready again. And the ruling here, for a full start, you get a second go at it. You get a warning. You can't do another one, of course. Or Evron, getting that "this is hot" warning, has had that all the time. This is your final for the F main. 4 places available to the E group. One of you will be the winner. And the first one here at the MultiGP European Championships is getting a little out of shape for Lucas Pence in that 4th place. Jupe, who's been flying so well, is down. Mirko Spindler down as well. Don't let this thing get away like that. Now we've got some pilots going through the reverse split. S is near each other. Lucas is down as well. I thought it might have been a mid-air between him and Johan. I'm not certain that they came together. What I am certain is that Johan is heading towards the tunnel, and another pilot is just stealing that first place over the line from him at the moment. It's Simon Heimrath, producer Simon, who's been working so hard in production. Chuck Boris, he's up into the top 3. Or Evron from Israel, staying out in the lead, and a big gap between them after the first lap. And it's because I think he's got a drone to chase, but it's not actually in front of him. It's a long way behind. But Or Evron seems to love a bit of a chase as he's to the line and is going to be onto the 3rd lap and still there by himself. He's got so much time now. Or Evron, Abdul Fattar is surely not spiraling out. He's in the sky. He's got to keep it there. He had a huge lead. We've only now got 3 pilots onto that final lap. Producer Simon still in the hunt. Or Evron is trying to keep that lead. He nearly threw it completely away. Simon Heimrath is through into the power loop. Now got to find the tower. Moving away from that, coming down through the tattoo cube. Or Evron is still quite a long way out in front now as he's going to make the final turn into the tunnel. And coming to the line, he keeps it to the end. It is Or Evron winning the first run. The F final is his. Simon Heimrath, Chuck Boris getting the 2nd place. And then Johan Albach, the VTX Slayer, 3.3 seconds behind him in 3rd. And brilliant applause from all the pilots here. watching the first of the battles here at the MultiGP European Championships come to a brilliant end. And it is Israel's Or Evron. He's our winner. He is going to lead Simon Heimrath and Johan Albach and Jorg Dunblut, Dupe FPV, who came down in that. If he does get awarded the 4th place, he will be the 4th of the pilots who get the bump up into E. That might need a bit of verification, though, as 3 pilots all came down without finishing their first lap. We know that Or Evron is our F winner. Simon Heimrath and Johan Albach, they've got a night of making sure everything is ready as they're going to be joining the E group, heading towards the E finals tomorrow. European Championships. I'm Matt Andrews. Well done to all of the team making today work. We'll see you for more tomorrow.